I created a 30-day program I used to charge for. Here it is for free. This podcast particularly is about mind and matter. It's a pretty important subject and something that I'm very, very, very strongly opinionated on because it's so common for people to try and choose one road or the other road. It's mind over matter, or it starts in the body and the mind just follows. It's actually both. And when we can take both, we start to move into what's called an integral perspective, an integral viewpoint. And from there, we can fundamentally make like exponential growth. So this talks about the importance of mind and matter and how you can apply it. It's a podcast from about a year ago on a different channel. I plugged into this one. I hope you enjoy it. Today, we're going to be talking about mind and matter. And this comes from, it's a very, very simple and important principle, but it comes from the idea. It's actually from a conversation I had when I was running an introduction to cold exposure workshop. And I had a bunch of athletes in, and one of the coaches said, so it's like, is this mind over matter? And it's funny because my first ever podcast, and I don't think you can actually find it anymore. It was called Mind Over Movement, which is pretty funny. But no, it's, I said to her in response to, is it mind over matter? I said, no, it's mind and matter. And this is a key thing. This is what allows us to have it's called an integral approach, but another way to think about it is a holistic approach. But more than anything, it is actually how we lean into our potential and how we access all of our potential is not taking a mind over matter approach or a matter over mind approach. It is a mind and matter. If we can, for lack of a better word, master our mind and master our body, then we're in a space that's untouchable if we only attempt to master one or we let one try and master the other. If we respect the fact that mind and matter are separate but also interchangeable, that they interplay with each other, and we learn to master both, then that's where we can get absolutely the most out of life and absolutely the most out of our potential. So let's talk through a few things here. One of the difficulties with the approach of either mind over matter or matter over mind, it is not commonly communicated as matter over mind. It's commonly communicated somewhere along the lines of you just get on with it. You just bloody well get on with it. It's anything to do with mind, thoughts, feelings, none of that matter. What literally matter, whatever, and you just, get going. And so there's an interesting diagram matrix by Dr. Michael Hall, which shows on one side high meaning and semantics, and on the other side high action and work. And if you take it to its extreme, you got workaholics. They're doing high action, low meaning. And then if you're taking the other one to the extreme, you've got high meaning, low action, which is all fluffland and dreamers. And so really our potential lays somewhere in between meaning and action. And so that's when we're taking on a mind and matter approach, we're able to really leverage both rather than having this binary black and white type approach to... it's limiting. It will always be limiting. If we're trying to get one to master the other, it won't work. We have to learn how to leverage both. We'll continually always be missing something. So a couple of really important principles when looking at this. I've got some notes down here in front of me. Your potential lies in your blind spots. So the difficulty here is that a lot of people attempt to leverage their weaknesses with their strengths. And you can do that to a certain degree, but at some point it will become your bottleneck. And so what this means is that you can't think yourself out of action. So if you're not motivated and you're not actually doing anything, thinking more won't actually do anything for you. You actually have to get moving. And if you're working yourself to the bone, working more won't give you more meaning. And so there is this balance here of like, if you have a problem and you try and fix that problem with your strength, not realizing that your strength kind of created the problem, then you're going to continue to run into the same problem, funnily enough. You can only meet people up to the level that you've met yourself. And this is really pointing to definitely a mind side of things, but also finding what you're physically capable of. You can only coach someone up to the level that you've been coached to, and so on and so forth. So your ability here to really meet yourself and understand yourself on a deeper level actually pays dividends and allows other people to follow that pathway as well for themselves, not because you show them the way, but because you become an inspiration for that and it's aspirational for them. If you get serious, you get stupid. This is a really important one because the more serious you take this framework, the further away you're going to be able to actually achieve it. So yeah, if you get serious, you get stupid, which leads into the next one, which is like play. We have a rule with all our programs and our immersions and training. We have a rule called look, play, learn. Let's look at this model. Let's understand it. Let's go play with it. Let's come back and look at it again. And we're learning by not just seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, but by also taking action and doing it. So that's really crucial. Play and be a student of life, which brings this playfulness, this curiosity, this childlike approach to our own learning, development, and unfolding, especially to the areas where we are, I'm going to say, most deficient. And so what I mean by that is, if you're not good at continually taking action, then being able to be a beginner again, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to be a beginner again, is how you really gain leverage and growth in that area. A couple of key things here when we look at what areas we want to bring attention to is, it's really simple. It's mind and movement. Ken Wilber has a fantastic model called in his work of integral theory, which is just the quadrants. It has 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is basically your thoughts, feelings, emotions. Second quadrant is shared values, community, culture, shared meaning. Third quadrant, which is objective, which is your physical body, your behavior, your habits. And then your fourth quadrant is all the systems, planets, and well, just planets as well, but environments, plans, etc. And so our ability to go, okay, let's look at the way that I think and feel and create memories and make decisions, and then also look at how I take action. And so, and how I physically show up. And if we look at that, we're looking at mind and matter. We're looking at the way that we think, and we're looking at the way that we move, or lack of either, really. So a couple of key practices for you here to take on. Work as hard on your mind as you do on your body. Another way to say that for the other party is work as hard on your body as you do on your mind. And so there isn't like just training in the gym for exercise training. You have an opportunity in that to also train your mind. And every single time you've got a learning of sorts, including this podcast, go and do something with it. So go and take action on it and embody it. Teach it. Look for it in conversations. Look to be able to integrate it straight away. So work as hard on your mind as you do on your body. Keep in mind, first thing in the morning, if you were to wake up and start eating junk food, you probably think that may not be the best thing. Yet we do that with the phone mentally more often than not. Turn on the news, start getting mental junk. What you want to do straight away is think about the information that I'm taking in. Does it sit under junk food, or is it really raw, wholesome, whole foods? And we want to think about that in relation to ideas, thoughts, values, conversations, and so forth as well. So yes, the way that we fuel our body, we also want to think about the same way we fuel our mind. That does not mean go and just get positive thoughts all the time. And there's a whole nother podcast on that, I'm sure. I've talked about it multiple times. It's not just about positive thinking, because that in itself presupposes negative thinking and is often actually quite shadow negative to the idea that someone's being negative. Interesting. But it's looking at what is mental junk compared to whole food junk. Wholesome food for the brain. Question everything. Question everything that you think. And the benefit of this is that what's true will come up time and time again, and what's false or a myth or a lie that you've been telling yourself, and there's so many variations, that over time will fall away. The truth doesn't mind being questioned. Always remember this. The truth does not mind being questioned. And the reason is because it comes back with the same answer time and time again. It is the things that are not true that usually mind being questioned. Very important, very powerful. Motivation comes from action. Even the word motivation, if we break it down, it means motive to move, and action is motivation, and the end of that is really looking at the process thereof. And so the key thing here is that in order to be motivated means that we have to have some form of action in order to create that momentum to be motivated. So if you're not feeling motivated, take action. More thinking is not going to get you out of that. Action will. There's 2 more here, and they're kind of linked, but different at the same time. Look for an opportunity for daily body connection in training, in a walk, in movement, in nature. I don't mind. And it can feed into the last point here, which is breath work. You can absolutely be connected to your breath and your body in any given moment as well. Go down that dark pathway and learn about all sorts of things. The breath is almost I wouldn't know what to call it. The glue, the bridge, right? But it's like a drawbridge, the bridge between mind and body. And so the ability here to be able to bridge these together, of mind and move, of mind and matter, to be able to connect to your body, connect to your breath, question your thoughts, is really foundational for being able to build what truly is this calm, focused mind and this body that's ready and prepared for what's coming next. More than anything, this should be helping to prepare you to really lean into your potential. And we do that by finding out, what am I missing here? What are the blind spots that I've probably been making up for with my strengths that if I was to pay attention to, I could be a student in, start playing and bringing a sense of curiosity to, I would get massive leverage for my own personal growth. Hey, thanks for watching that. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some value out of it as well. But if you're really interested in building a clear vision, a calm mind, and a capable body, I put together a 30-minute VSL that just runs you through a step-by-step game plan on how to build one. And if you want to do it with me, I run free workshops on it, the link below to do that as well. I can actually just spend some time with you, and we literally build a game plan for you on where you're weak, where you need work, and what to do next. But you can check that out below. That's me done. I'm out. Peace and pizza. I'll see you soon.